Hey everyone, welcome back to TSC Connect. I'm Physio Andrea and we have another scoliosis-friendly core workout for you. This one cycles through a series of core exercises that use your whole body and also dumbbells to get that extra challenge. It's a bit hard, especially at the end with the V-sit work, but you can do it. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Otherwise, enjoy this core workout. Okay, let's start with a warm-up by moving through these movements without the dumbbells. So we're starting in high kneeling. And so place your hands on your hips. If your knees are a little bit sore, you can put a folded towel, or if you have a yoga mat to put under your knees, that can work too. From here, make sure that your pelvis is in a neutral position, so not too rounded, but also not too arched. So try and pretend that your pelvis is a bowl of water and try and keep it neutral without the bowl spilling water out front or back. From here, push down with your hands to lengthen your spine. Keeping this position where your thighs are in line with your body. You're thinking about inhaling, and as you exhale, we're going to lean back, hinging at the knees, and then bringing ourselves up forwards. We're engaging all of this front line, including our core. So we're moving slowly through this position for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Next, we're doing static beast hold with knee taps. So find yourself in a 4-point position, shoulders over your hands and hips over your knees. Tuck your toes under so that your toes are all contacting the ground. From here, think about pushing into your toes to lift your knees off. Not into a full bear position, stay really close to the floor. From here, you're going to just tap your knees and then lift just 10 centimeters off of the floor, and then tap your knees and lift, okay? We're repeating this for 30 seconds. And most importantly, make sure to push through the floor with your hands so that your shoulders stay engaged. Breathe throughout the whole time. Ready, set, go. Next, we're doing high plank to side plank to start engaging our sides of our core, okay? So find your high plank position, shoulders over your hands again, extend each foot back. So in this strong high plank position, swivel your whole body so that your feet, your hips, your chest, and your head all face one side, reaching one arm up towards the ceiling. Come back towards high plank, and then we're swiveling to the other side. Okay, so repeat this movement for 30 seconds, making sure that your whole body moves together like a log. Ready, set, go. Okay, next transition onto your back. We're moving into a tabletop position. So that means bringing your hips and your knees to 90 degrees, pretending like you're balancing a glass of water on your shins. From here, arms are reaching up towards the ceiling, and then thinking about lowering them down just so your thumbs touch the floor, and then bringing them back. We're just warming up our core here before we actually add our dumbbells. So just move through this movement for 30 seconds, making sure to maintain a small scoop under your lower back. Pretend there's a very small blueberry or a small item underneath your lower back. You want to touch it, but not squish it. So that's trying to maintain a more neutral spine throughout the movement, okay? So a little gentle gap as you lift and lower your arms, keeping your knees in this 90-90 position. Ready, set, go. Okay, we're transitioning back up into high kneeling to return to our first movement of the high kneeling leans, but this time we're going to use our dumbbell. So hold on to one dumbbell. I have a 5-pound one here, but it's your choice. You can use a heavier one or a lighter one, depending on how you feel this day. So come into your high kneeling position. We're going to hold the dumbbell down by our thighs. We're repeating the same movement where we lengthen our spine, and then as you exhale, you're lowering down into a hinge from the knee and then coming back up, okay? So adding just a slight challenge with the dumbbell, but then the next round it's gonna get even harder. So do this for 30 seconds, staying really long through your spine. Ready, set, go. Okay, next we're transitioning back to 4-point static beast with the knee taps, except this time we're gonna try using the dumbbell. So find yourself in a 4-point position again, and we're trying to balance the dumbbell on your calves behind you. So it might be a little bit tricky, but basically bring your knees close together and then see if you can balance the dumbbell somewhere here. Okay, if it doesn't work, you can get rid of it. It's still going to access your core. From here, tuck your toes under, push into a static beast position, which is basically a lift. And then again, same thing, we're tapping our knees up and down. The weight is here for the added challenge, okay? 30 seconds, ready, set, go. Okay, this one's a bit tricky. We're doing high plank to side plank and we're incorporating a dumbbell. So find your high plank position with the dumbbell in between your hands. Stretch your legs out behind you. It might be a bit easier if your feet are wider. As you swivel to the side, pick up your dumbbell and reach it overhead, and then place it back down as you come into a high plank position, switching your weight to the other side to go into your side plank, okay? So we're kind of moving through this movement and trying to switch the dumbbell to your side. Try to minimize how much twisting is happening in your spine as much as you can. We're moving for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Okay, shifting back into your tabletop position when you're lying on the floor. Bring your one dumbbell with you. So you're going to hold onto the dumbbell with both arms. Be very, very careful. If you have a weight overhead, just make sure you're holding onto it really still because you don't want to drop it on your head by accident. Okay, holding on steady to your dumbbell. Find your tabletop position. From here, this time we're lowering the dumbbell towards the floor and then lifting back up, okay? So we're going through this movement for 30 seconds. If you want more of a challenge, reach your feet away from you a tiny bit more, but see where you can hold a neutral spine position. Because if you're way out here and your back starts to arch, it means it's too difficult for your core. So just find that position where you can feel challenged, but you're also able to stabilize through your trunk. Okay, moving for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Okay, we're moving into the third variation of those same sets of exercises. So find your way into high kneeling again. And this time we're bringing the dumbbell to our chest, which makes the lever a little bit longer, which makes it more challenging for your core. So holding the dumbbell at your chest, making sure you're not arching in this position, lots of space through your spine, shoulders away from ears. From here, inhale. As you exhale, lean back, keeping this weight close to your chest, and then come back up. If you feel a little bit of the shakes at the bottom, that's normal, but make sure you're not straining your neck. And if you have any pain anywhere, just don't go as far, stay in really small range. Doing this for 30 seconds with the weight at your chest. Ready, set, go. Okay, we're moving back into 4-point for another round of static beast knee taps. We're just gonna do the same version that we did last time. If you have a heavier weight and you'd like to try that behind your knees, go ahead. So again, placing the weight as close as you can towards your thighs, trying to balance them as best as you can. You might have to bring your knees close together. I'll turn to the side so that you can see me here. Tuck your toes under. With your shoulders over top of your hands, push the floor away. And then again, we're lifting and tapping for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. We're going back to our high plank to side plank. This time we're going to use 2 dumbbells, which makes it a little bit more challenging to hold your side plank. So this time, see if you can, if you have round dumbbells, this might not work. And so in that case, use the same version that we did last time. If you have these hexagon shaped dumbbells, this might work. So hold on to your dumbbells and then go into a high plank position. From here, as you go into your side plank, you're lifting one weight and then coming back down into high plank and switching sides, okay? Same movement, making sure your feet come with you every time. We're doing this for 30 seconds, alternating sides. Ready, set, go. We're moving back onto our back to do our arm lowers in tabletop, but this time we're using 2 dumbbells, which makes it a little bit harder. So hold your 2 dumbbells, and again, be really careful as you bring them up overhead. Find your tabletop position, and this time we're lowering both arms at the same time, but essentially you've doubled your weight that's in your hands. So again, if this is too hard, just use 1 weight and hold it with 2 hands like we did in the last round, okay? So we're moving both arms at the same time, this time using 2 arms. Because your weights are not connected, try and move your arms as evenly as possible. Sometimes in scoliosis, you might feel like one is a bit more flexible, or you might move one faster than the other because of the position of your shoulder blade. So try to pay attention to moving your arms symmetrically throughout this movement. Okay, 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Come back up into a sitting position and keep your dumbbells close by, but we won't need it for this first exercise. We're doing basically an alternative to a crunch, where we start in a butterfly sitting position and then we're doing little V movements. Not crunches, but rather just a hinge at the hips. So you have a few choices with your legs. If you'd like to keep your knees pointing up towards the ceiling, we're just doing this very small range movement. If you feel it too much in your hip flexors, you can choose to have your knees open in a butterfly, which might alleviate a little bit of that. And then essentially you're doing this gentle movement. So you can choose your position here. To find that first position, sit on your sit bones. You can use your hands on the back of your thighs to help you lengthen your spine and sit up nice and tall. Then try and hold that even if your hands aren't helping you. You can put your arms in front of you and basically you're just opening at your hips a little bit and then coming back up to sitting upright, okay? Making sure you're not rolling down because we want to keep lots of space in that spine. Do this for 30 seconds. You can lower as much or as little as you'd like, but really try and stay activated through your core. Ready, set, go. Okay, this time we're doing something similar, but you can hold a dumbbell to make it harder. So bring a dumbbell up towards your chest, find your position. Again, you can choose what to do with your legs in terms of butterfly or a regular position. And then you're repeating that same movement, but you're adding a weight to make a bit of a challenge. If you feel this in your hip flexors or in your lower back, it might be because your hip flexors are attached to your lower back, your psoas muscles, so it might be engagement of that. But try and shift your position a little bit more, try and stay upright, make sure you have a gentle scoop in your back. But if you're not able to alleviate that sensation and it doesn't feel good for you, then just pause and take a moment to breathe before we move on to your next exercise. Okay, so we're doing this V, little tiny V sits for 30 seconds. Oh, sorry, hands with the weight at your chest. Ready, set, go. Okay, so this time we're doing a V-sit hold, and then we're adding the dumbbell for the core challenge. So find your V position. This time, if you're able to like hover your weight off of your feet, that'll be a little bit more challenging for your core too. So if you can find that V position, tilt back a little bit, this time bringing your dumbbell out in front of you, and then just lifting it slightly overhead. We're holding the V, but repeating the arm lift for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. This is your last core exercise, and then we're gonna move into a cool down portion. Find your V-sit for one last time using one dumbbell. You're going to keep your elbows bent this time, and we're opening one arm with the dumbbell and then switching hands. So be careful as you transfer the weight, and then we're opening to the other side and then switching hands, okay? So it might take a little bit of a juggle in the middle, but what we're doing is activating the obliques in a spine neutral position by transferring this weight back and forth, resisting the urge to twist with the weight, okay? Do this for 30 seconds, as leaned back or not as you want. Ready, set, go. Okay, let's stretch out those hip flexors because I can really feel that there's been a lot of activation in the front of my body. So transition into a half kneeling position and essentially tuck your pelvis backwards and then slowly glide your pelvis forward until you feel a stretch in the front of the hip. Feel free to rest your body on your front knee so that your spine stays nice and neutral. And you can even just rock gently, kind of just a little bit of movement side to side to see where it feels the best for this stretch. Hold for 30 seconds on this side, and then we're switching for 30. Switch sides in 3, 2, 1. For our last stretch, we're going to do one of our favorites, the modified child's pose. And so find a wall, or if you have a chair, but we're keeping so start sitting on your heels. You can place your hands on the wall about, forehead height, and then think about reaching your hips back, but keep them elevated so that your back doesn't round into a slouched position. So stay really nice and long. Think about reaching your sit bones away from your hands, and we're just going to breathe lots of space into your back for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. We hope you find this information helpful. For more how-to videos and scoliosis-friendly workouts, check us out on TSC Connect. See you next time.